For some reason, this poor lone day pack is left over from the drop last night. These day packs, they seem like they're always last to go. And so I thought it would be a good opportunity, since it was here in the shack, to just, it's been a while since I kind of went over the features of these things. So this was the first pack I designed, actually, the day pack. I literally designed it because I didn't see anything out there that did exactly what I wanted it to, the way I wanted it to. So it's 15-ounce wax canvas, which means that it's thick, but it's not so thick that it's super stiff. Some makers use 18-ounce wax canvas, which is cool, but I've always felt like it was a little bit, it felt a little bit stiff. I actually have some 18-ounce I'm going to use for a couple of special projects here in the new year, but most of the time I use this 15-ounce, which is just thick enough in my opinion. Of course, all the buckles are solid brass. These are roller buckles by Buckle Guy, so they make getting the straps in and out super duper easy, which is good because this is 9 ounce leather, and leather is measured in ounces for some reason, but really what it means is it's thick. So this is probably, I don't know, find out. So this is 0.15, so 0.16, about 1/8 of an inch thick. And this is bridal leather, which means it's really waxy on top. It's struck all the way through, so the dye is all the way through. So it's never gonna run or fade on you. It will crack over time, so you wanna use some wax or something on there. All day packs have 2 straps on the top, or 2 what I call strap tabs, and these are for putting bedroll straps, or really you could attach anything through there, but you just run straps through there, you can put blanket on top. They've also got straps or tabs on the bottom. And this also helps protect the pack a little bit on top of the leather that's on the bottom, but this is also so you can lash something stuff to the bottom, which really extends the use of this pack, because you can put a blanket on the bottom, you put your sleeping bag under there, your tent. There's all kinds of stuff that you could lash onto this pack. There's big front pouch, big roomy front pouch that also closes. It's got gusseted, so that whatever you put in there, if you've got maps or stuff that you don't want to get wet, it closes down around them nicely, especially when it's nice and full. I mean, if it's not, it just kind of closes down, but if it's really stuffed full, then this will kind of clasp around it and keep the rain and whatever from splashing on top of there. It's also open in the behind. Like every pouch on all my packs are open where they behind where they attach to the pack. I always felt like that was real wasted space if this is closed. You'll find with some packs that the lid is actually sewn to the pack and then it just flips over, and then which I guess saves material really, because you don't have to have a back of the pouch, but I always felt like that was kind of wasted space. So this is actually, these are actually, you might have seen in some videos, these are actually kind of all one piece. I actually create the pouch and then sew it on there. So you've got plenty of room back here, and this is great for, you know, like a fields, around here somewhere, a field notes notebook, also good for maps, gloves, knives, anything that, and it's closed on the bottom, so it's not going to slip through. So, so extra space there, and then the pouches on the side. So these are open on the day pack, and the idea really here was, you know, this is great for a water bottle or a small pot or cook stove. I know for a fact that you can fit a pocket rocket canister down in there, but you can also fit like this shirt, you know, you could stuff down in there. You could get a one-man tent down in there, and these are also, so one side is open on the bottom. So if you had like my Council Tool Camp Axe here, that slips right through the back, so that's easy carry for something like that. But then on the other side, it's closed behind. So not that you would use an axe for this, but if you had tent poles or a saw or something that didn't have a helpful catch mechanism, you could slip something behind there too. That's great for like a My buddy Jody, Maple Made Co., has made some beautiful buck saws, and also a really nice kind of straight saw called a Laplander that he would put back there, or no, bush pike, I think it was. Anyway, you get the idea. And then drawstring clothes. So what's also good about this is that I've heard from a lot of people, and myself included, that this also is a great, you know, urban bag and carry-on bag. And so if you're not using these for some reason, if you're just going back and forth to the office or commuting, or you're on a quick trip on a plane, God help you, then these just cinch right down to the side of the bag, but then you've always got them. They've also got little drainage holes at the bottom so that if any moisture or water or anything leaks down in there, then that drains out at the bottom. The shoulder pads, this is kind of my signature jam. So these shoulder pads are 1/4 inch thick, and closed cell foam. Lots of people use this, but these are some of the thickest you're gonna find out there on a pack like this. They're covered in what I'm using right now is this beautiful Richard Hoffman glove leather that I'm getting from Buckle Guy, and it's super soft, and it looks so good. Look at this with the chestnut. So this is the new chestnut color I'm using from Weaver Leather for these straps and all that. And then I think there's 10 adjustment positions on all the shoulder straps. Many rivets holding these in. There's a solid piece of leather on the inside as well. There's a thicker piece on the inside. I've got a bunch of towels stuffed in here right now, but you probably can't see. So this is a real thick piece of that 10 ounce or that 8-9 ounce leather, that's super thick, just to kind of really have something to bite into. But on this side, it's a thinner 3.5 ounce leather, the same that I use for these strap covering pieces, so that it's not super thick, poking into your back. This piece that goes across here is thick because I want these rivets to hold on to something really thick, but the rest of it is a thinner piece of leather. Of course, there's a handle and a hanging hook. I think this is something that a lot of pack makers get wrong, is they have a hanger, they have a hanger, but they don't have a handle, vice versa, or one or the other. And I've always felt that you really want something to hang your pack, but if you hang your pack by the handle, then it's really hard to get the pack open, and that's annoying. So I've always felt it was really nice to have a loop for hanging, and then a handle for grabbing. And especially, maybe not so much on the small packs, but certainly in heavier packs, but any pack that's really stuffed full, you know, it's nice to be able to grab it up off the ground and not have to just use the shoulder straps to do that. So I really like the handle. Main compartment is grommeted. It's got paracord, and this is 750-pound paracord. So in a pinch, you could actually take all the paracord off here and use it. So that's why I don't use leather or something that maybe a little fancier and groovier, but this is gonna last forever, and you could always just use it if you needed some cordage. And leather bottoms. So this used to be an option. I used to just do, you could choose to have a leather bottom or not, but I started putting leather bottoms on all my packs. Wax canvas is very tough, but it will wear through, and it can get holes in it over time, especially if you can cut it. It's not made of Kevlar. So the leather just gives it an extra layer of protection. And of course it looks nice, but because the other option is to put a double layer of canvas on the bottom, which is what some manufacturers do, which is great. I really like that they do that. You kind of need to do that, but otherwise, I'm kind of going to the trouble of putting stuff on the bottom anyway, and I think the leather looks nice. So that's just always going to be the case. That's one of the reasons the prices have gone up a little bit, on top of course, materials and everything else, but because I'm putting leather on everything now. So some versions of these have, I do versions that have a zipper pouch in the lid, have a zipper pouch on the inside. This one does not have that stuff. Those tend to be more sort of custom orders. But I'm going to throw in different of those zipper options into some packs here and there. I've got a couple here coming here on the bench that one will have an internal zipper pouch, another one will have one in the lid. So anyway, so this is on, depending on when you watch this is on my website right now, Meandering Maker Outdoors with an S, meanderingmakeroutdoors.com. You can just see it right there on the homepage, I think. But if you go to packs, it's the one thing that doesn't say sold out, unless somebody grabs this by the time you watch this, in which case I'm really sorry. But so it's a great pack. I mean, these are I think people kind of think either, River Ruck, which is that's a model I make it's exactly the same. It just doesn't have the side pouches, but and it's just got slip pockets, and that's a great pack. But I feel like this poor little guy gets a little bit overlooked, and this is really one of my favorite designs that I make because there's just so much utility in it. I've done overnighters out of this pack in the winter, which is not an easy feat when you've got a sleeping bag, and I'm a hammock guy, so I've got my whole hammock set up, and water and food and all that stuff. So it's actually kind of a fun little challenge. But I've also used my personal day pack of taking it hiking in Canada, took it on a canoe trip with my buddy Jody. So it's a great little pack. So I mean, someone will snatch it up. So I'm not crying about it. I just I want to just give everybody a little reminder that the Meandering Maker Day Pack, it's the original, it's the OG, and it's a great little pack. And come on, look at that color combo. I mean, that's just super dope. So give it a look. More of these coming. I'm gonna keep making these, obviously, as well as everything else. So, but there's just a little refresher since this guy was sitting kind of looking kind of lonely since I shipped all the other ones out this morning. So thanks for watching.